She looked me in the eye and said, asterisk, asterisk, girls, like you don't marry into, oh, you are money. Asterisk, asterisk, I smiled. Because I had $16.9 million more than her son. Before we go ahead, asterisk, asterisk, like, share, and subscribe, asterisk, asterisk, if you're tired of people judging you by your looks instead of your worth. This story is your revenge. 3 weeks before my wedding, I made a decision that changed everything. I secretly transferred all ownership of my startup to a holding firm under my best friend's name. Not because I didn't trust my fiancé Liam, but because I didn't trust his mother, the way she looked at me, like I was some asterisk charity. Case asterisk. Just because I grew up in a cramped apartment and wore thrifted clothes in college didn't mean I was weak. She didn't know that while her son was spending his daddy's money on designer suits, I was coding my first app in a public library. She didn't know the late nights, the ramen dinners, the unpaid rent, or that the app now had over 3.4 million users. That Liam never asked about my work. He said, you're lucky I can take care of you after we marry. His mom, she'd laugh whenever I offered to split bills and say, don't embarrass yourself, Brielle, you're marrying up. I smiled, said nothing. Let them believe what they wanted because the wedding was coming. And I had a feeling they were planning something. And I was right. On the rehearsal dinner, in front of over 50 guests, Liam stood up and made a toast. I'm so proud to marry a humble girl like Brielle. She came from nothing, and now she gets to be part of our family empire. The claps, the fake smiles, and then his mom stood up and said, yes, she should be grateful. Most girls like her end up single mothers, not brides. I sat there, calm. But inside, something snapped. They thought I was nothing. I picked up the mic. I looked right at Liam's mom and said, funny, I was just going to thank you for showing me exactly what kind of family I almost married into. The room fell silent. Her smile dropped. I pulled out my phone, tapped once, and the projector behind me lit up. The screen showed a headline. Asterisk, asterisk, Brielle Carter's tech startup hits $16.9 million valuation after latest funding round. Asterisk, asterisk, Liam blinked. His mom gasped. I kept going. The company I built, I hid it because I wanted to see who'd love me without the money. Clearly, it wasn't any of you. Aunt Susan dropped her fork. Liam's cousin whispered, she's the founder of Streampath. His brother pulled out his phone and started Googling me like I was a stranger. And maybe to them, I was . Then Liam stood up, face red. You lied to me. This is manipulation. I stared straight at him. No, Liam, this was a test. And you failed. His mom tried to interrupt. You're bluffing. That company is registered in Delaware under an anonymous trust. My name's not on it, but I can prove it's mine. I tapped again. Up came the code interface. My name on the original GitHub commit. The founding date. The seed investor's video pitch with me in it. She sank into her chair. But I wasn't done. You called me lucky. I starved building this while your son was on golf trips. I was sleeping in server rooms while you looked down on my thrift store dress. I was buying equity in your favorite fashion brand. Guess who owns 8% of it now? The guests were dead quiet. And then the final nail. I won't be needing the wedding gifts or your last name. I came in with more than what you ever saw in me, and I'm walking out with all of it, plus my son's back. I dropped the mic, literally turned around and walked straight down the aisle. But what happened right outside that wedding hall was the most shocking twist of all. As I stepped out of the hall, heart racing but head high. Asterisk, asterisk, a black Rolls Royce pulled up. Asterisk, asterisk, I froze. I never called a ride. The driver stepped out and handed me a letter. It was from her, Liam's grandmother. I'd only met her once at a lunch, quiet, sharpened, and ignored by most of the family. But she'd asked me one thing that day. Asterisk, asterisk, do you build or do you just wear pretty things? Asterisk, asterisk, I told her the truth. She just smiled. Now, standing on that sidewalk, I opened her letter with shaky fingers. Greater than Brielle, greater than I've seen this family rot from pride. But you're different. You didn't marry into money. You created it. Greater than that's what real legacy looks like. Greater than enclosed power of attorney to manage my personal investment portfolio. I want you to handle what my son and grandson never could. Eleanor Whitmore. I stared at the document. Her net worth was over $300 million. She wanted me to manage it. That's when Liam came running out. Brielle, wait, listen to me. I didn't know she'd say those things. I didn't mean to. I didn't flinch. You didn't stop her either. You let your mom mock me, knowing I stayed silent out of love. But when the truth came out, your first reaction wasn't pride, it was ego. I was scared. He stuttered. Good. That means you knew I was out of your league. You just didn't want to admit it. Then his mom appeared, screaming, "You think some money makes you better than us?" I turned slowly, walked right up to her, and whispered, asterisk, asterisk, no. My values do. Asterisk, asterisk, just as I stepped into the Rolls Royce, the media started circling. One reporter shouted, "Bria, will you comment on walking away from your own wedding?" I smiled at the camera and said, asterisk, asterisk, sometimes walking away is the richest move you'll ever make. Asterisk, asterisk, but trust me. This revenge, it wasn't over yet. Because what I did after that ride made Liam's family beg for my help. 3 days later, my phone exploded with calls. Liam's family business was collapsing. Headlines everywhere screamed, asterisk, asterisk. Whitmore Holdings shares crash after investor pullout, asterisk, 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 asterisk. $48 million lost in 72 hours, CEO under scrutiny, and guess who the biggest investor, asterisk, asterisk, was? Asterisk, Eleanor. Whitmore. Asterisk, my new client. I was now legally in charge of handling her shares, and by extension, their future. Liam's dad, once too proud to even look me in the eye, showed up at my office in a cheap suit, hands shaking. "Bria, we didn't realize who you were. Please, can we talk?" I motioned him in but didn't offer a seat. He begged. "Our partners are backing out. We're being investigated for mismanaging funds. The board thinks Eleanor's withdrawal was a power move. If you don't bring her back in, we're finished." I leaned forward. "Finished? Like the way your wife said I'd never be enough." He lowered his head. "I'm sorry, but I wasn't done." Just then, Liam walked in. He looked wrecked. "Brielle, I was stupid. You didn't deserve how we treated you, but we need your help, please." I stayed silent, letting the tension stretch. Finally, I said, "I'll consider it. But on one condition." They looked up, desperate. "You publicly release a statement admitting everything, the mockery, the assumptions, the way you tried to control the marriage, admit you never saw my worth until you needed it." Liam hesitated. "That'll destroy our reputation." I smiled. "Exactly." And then I turned to his father. "You have 24 hours. Otherwise, Eleanor's portfolio gets redirected to your biggest competitor." What happened next shocked the entire industry because their statement went viral. But what the public didn't know was the secret deal I struck. Behind the scenes. While the world applauded my graceful forgiveness, behind closed doors, I had rewritten everything. I didn't just get an apology. I asterisk, asterisk, took 26% ownership, asterisk, asterisk, of Whitmore Holdings. On paper, I was just managing Eleanor's assets. In reality, I controlled their board votes, veto rights, and their future investments. Liam's dad was now reporting to me. His mother, quiet, nervous, careful with every word. At the next annual shareholder meeting, I walked in not as someone's fiancé, but as Brielle Carter, tech mogul, and now asterisk, asterisk, a controlling voice in their billion-dollar legacy. Asterisk, asterisk, the same room where I was once treated like an outsider. Stood up when I entered. After the meeting, Eleanor took my hand and whispered, "I chose right." That night, I sat alone in my penthouse balcony, sipping tea, watching the skyline. I didn't need revenge anymore. I had power, peace, and purpose. Liam messaged me once more. "Greater than still think about what we lost." I replied, "Greater than I don't. I gained something far bigger myself." Because in the end, I didn't just walk away from a wedding. Asterisk, asterisk, I walked into a legacy I built with silence, strength, and savage precision. Asterisk, 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 never underestimate the girl you once pitied. She might just own the company that writes your paycheck. Asterisk, asterisk,